Hello, my name is Lucas Galbier, and today I will be presenting my final project research topic. The title of my project is called Preferability Analysis of Food Waste Distribution in Rochester, New York. Just a little background on the topic. Food waste contributes to greenhouse gas generation, is an incredible loss of calories, and incurs hauling costs on supermarkets. And in the next slide, I'll be delving into those topics a little deeper. Firstly, food waste is generated usually as the result of either being the wrong size, having the wrong color or shape, overproduction of the product, a low market price, or a specific perception of freshness. There are several issues surrounding food waste. The first is that it results in greenhouse gas emissions. It's been estimated that 1.6 tons of CO2 are released per ton of food waste. There are incredible economic losses. In the US alone, there are $165 billion wasted annually just from food waste. It's been cited by the EPA that source reduction and recovery are incredibly high priorities when it comes to reducing food waste. And one study even denoted that donation and conversion to other food types end up resulting in the greatest reductions. However, most of the studies that I came across are just scenario analyses based on point data and don't particularly use GIS strategies when studying this issue. Now to the problem. So we know that alternative options exist for food waste, such as composting, anaerobic digestion, donation, incineration, and conversion to other food products. However, since donation is the second most effective and second most promoted option, what is the optimal distribution for food donation? The goals and objectives of my research project are to use vector data in GIS to statistically analyze the optimal choice of supermarkets to distribute edible food waste to food banks around the greater Rochester area. So first I have to collect coordinate data on the supermarkets, food banks, food cupboards, etc., and then ultimately analyze the optimal distribution from each franchise, which would include Wegmans, Walmart, and other food distributors. Future research that could stem from this would include a cost-benefit analysis of various distribution scenarios. But what I would like to include in this project is an alternative scenario where, say, food banks are either full or no longer can accept any more donations. The next best option would be to use anaerobic digesters. So what if every farm in the greater Rochester area had an anaerobic digester? One that's fairly well known in the area is the Synergy biogas plant. So what if one of those existed on roughly every farm in the greater Rochester area? Next are some feature outputs that I expect from ArcMap. These include a thematic map of supermarket locations, one map per franchise, around the greater Rochester area, a thematic map of donation options, one per donation category, and then a data table of optimal choices based on the statistical results. Lastly would be a thematic map of possible farm locations for anaerobic digestion construction. However, my study would not go into an analysis of the costs or benefits of such construction. These were the studies that I referenced, and thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video.